listening to Have You Ever Wondered? It is Monday, July 25th, 2022. I'm Chloe, and the title of today's episode is It's Hard to Trust Kids. It's harder to trust yourself. You guys ever feel like you could use about 6 good months of hiding under a rock where you don't have to talk to anyone or go anywhere or do anything, and then after that you could just come back and deal with some stuff? No? Is that just me? Oh dear. I just have some stuff going on, and sometimes the weekends are the only time I can deal with it. Anyway, welcome back to a new week of the show, everyone. I am glad that you are here. I'm glad that I'm here too, right? Hope your weekend was restful. If it needed to be restful, productive. If it needed to be productive, a combination, if that's what was called for. Man, I had some inspiration, which is why we're talking about kids today. I could talk about kids all the time, but I touched briefly during the boundaries episode from, I don't know when that was. Sometime. It's on YouTube. You can find it. About setting boundaries for your children. You can't really, you can. I was going to say you can't really set boundaries for other people's children, but depending on the context, you can. But you have to set boundaries for your own children. It's not optional. Okay. And so I was thinking about it more deeply yesterday afternoon because I was actually watching an episode of that Peacock show, Bel-Air. Just playing a little catch up because I don't really have time to watch TV during the week. So I just had it on while I don't know what I was doing. Maybe I was doing my nails or something. And there's this brilliant reimagining of the original 90s comedy sitcom that starred Will Smith. It's called The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. And now it's a drama. And from the time I saw the trailer, I knew I was going to love watching it because now more than ever, I really enjoy watching media that's produced in LA. But I did not expect the acting to be blowing me out of the water every time I have time to turn it on and look at one of the episodes. I'm busy and it's 10 episodes total, so I haven't finished all of them yet. But in this particular one, that sort of inspired me to talk about this. Will, the main character, who is in high school, is trying to make a decision concerning his past that's going to impact the way that his future with his family unfolds. And all the adults in his life are going, well, should we tell him? Should we not tell him? And then at the same time, unbeknownst to them, he's also wondering, should I try to figure this out? Should I not figure it out? Do I want to know? Do I not want to know? And the thing that really bothered me was that as a 17-year-old, which is pretty grown, they were not trusting him to have the options presented to him clearly and honestly, and then allow him the opportunity to make the decision for himself, which is a skill you should be developing by the time you're 17. You should actually be developing it a lot earlier than that, but definitely by then. And so, not to spoiler alert anything away, because I won't mention any specifics, but he ends up having to go behind the backs of 3 of the 4 primary adults in his life to obtain the information himself, and then still decide whether or not he was going to do something about it, but with no guidance. And that is the exact opposite of the way that it should have gone. I'm thinking to myself, why do parents do that? Question mark, question mark, question mark. Like, it makes me think of times I've experienced that. Other people I know have experienced that. It's actually pretty common. And I realized that with a lot of people who are parents or caregivers or who just deal with children in general, it isn't only that they don't trust the child, although that is definitely part of it. It's also that they don't trust themselves. They don't trust their own parenting skills. Here's the thing though, with many children, I'd even venture to say most children from 0 to 17, which is the time during which you actually have the opportunity to tell them what to do, if you've given them a foundation of honesty, reason, logic, compassion, empathy, etc., you know what I'm talking about. If you've taught them healthy ways to function in the world, that's a big if, which is what we're supposed to be doing during that time, then you really should be able to present something to said child with all the options, with honesty, with transparency, and trust that what you've spoken into them up until that point is going to come back and help them to make the right choices. You can't follow them around forever telling them what to do. I believe that's where the term helicopter parenting came from. You're just hovering, waiting for something to happen so that you can deal with it. You cannot do that. Eventually, they enter society as adults and they have to be able to make decisions on their own. And the way that they do that is by practicing doing it while they still have the safety net of adults who care for them and are responsible for them, there with them, physically present. Like training wheels when you're learning to ride a bike, right? They're still going through all the motions of riding the bike, and with the training wheels there, that's you or the adult in question. Just in case there's a slip up. Things happen. People make mistakes. People make errors in judgment. But one day, you can take the training wheels off of the bike and you realize, wait, they do know how to ride it. And everyone's fine. It's difficult to be a good parent. If you're a parent and you're listening to this, I'm going to say that again. And if you're not a parent and you're listening to this, I'm going to say that again. It is difficult to be a good parent. And no one should be belittling the job at all, ever. A lot of people think dealing with kids is so easy. They're small, they're dumb. You can pick them up and put them wherever you want. No. They think it's so easy that it's beneath an intelligent, well-educated adult to do it. That's child's play. It is none of those things. It is serious and it is challenging and it is vital to the health and continuation of society that children be raised properly in every place they go. At home, at school, at their activities. It's something I'm quite passionate about, actually, and that passion doesn't preclude me from having other skills and other interests and other ambitions. It's not like that for you either. You can learn skills that make you better with the children in your life while you still possess other areas of skill or talent or expertise or ambition. They don't have to be mutually exclusive. It's one of the great lies, in my opinion. Some people are just good with kids, and that if you're not, then you can't get better at it. It's not true. You can. You always can, and you should. You always should. While I was preparing to do this, I had read a few other articles, and they were sort of enumerating concern after concern parents they had dealing with their children, especially during the pandemic, or dealing with their children, work-life balance, or dealing with their children, and dividing responsibilities with their partner, or the fact that they didn't have a partner, and dealing with their children while they're there by themselves. And I was going to call a few of them and talk through how to deal with certain common issues, but man, I just thought we'll be here all morning if I start it, and I don't want to rush it, and I don't want to give it any less than it's due, because there's some important things that I was reading about, so we can do it another day. Also, I wanted really the focus and the point of today to be for you to start thinking, like, if there are children in your life with whom you regularly interact, whether they're yours or not, there's a bond of trust that has to be formed there. Not just between you and the child, between you and yourself. You need it. You need that trust in yourself to be functioning and intact so that you can be the grown-up that they need you to be, and so they can turn into the grown-up that they have the potential to be. Adam Zagajewski wrote today's poem, and it's called Moment. Clear moments are so short. There is much more darkness, more ocean than firm land, more shadow than form. A nice short one for you. And I chose that because that's how parenting feels a lot of times, or just dealing with children in general. It feels like a great deal of the time these little people are wandering around. I have no idea what to do, and I am not standing on a firm foundation to get me through it. It's not uncommon to feel like that. Do not feel bad about feeling like that. The thing is, you don't have to stay feeling like that. There's options. There's things that you can do. And although kids can seem confusing and troubling and challenging, they don't have to be. They may not know about Pythagoras or Moliere or Hemingway yet, but that doesn't mean they're not intelligent and capable. Their minds are developing, and they know about what you show them, and they know about what you allow them to be exposed to, and they know about what you say and how it matches the way that you act or doesn't. And they know about love. They know about that. So start there, with them and with yourself. And we can pick this up again soon. I'll see you tomorrow.